thought that drawing cool things at the age of 3 would eventually bring this guy into the amazing world of the comic book industry. Alam niyo mga kahiro, he has traveled all over the world from Japan to Canada and also here in Manila. In fact, dito nandito na tayo ngayon. It would be such an honor to introduce to you, mga kahiro, one of the coolest guys sa comic book industry, Mr. Sigmund Torre. Here in Manila, right?
Yeah.
But you grew up in San Francisco and then Toronto?
I spent most of my life in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
But then the last 5 years or so I was in Tokyo. Then I moved back to Manila.
So do you think growing up in the Western world, did that influence your love for comics?
Definitely. I really like comics there. Like, that's where, you know, I was that age where you buy comics every week, read comics, and then that made me really want to draw.
Any favorite comics?
As a kid, it was X-Men. I like Wolverine, but again, everyone says Wolverine, so I'll say Colossus.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite.
How about local comics, Filipino comics, right?
Growing up, no, I wasn't really exposed to Filipino comics, but as a kid here, Voltes 5. I was a huge, huge Voltes 5.
When did you start getting into artwork?
I started drawing since I was 3. I can remember always drawing, like in school, all the time. I was always drawing.
Okay. Would you say that your influences when you were a kid were primarily DC and Marvel comics?
I would definitely say Marvel comics more than DC as a kid. I looked at all the big guys at the time, like the Image comic guys, like Jim Lee. I was a big fan of those kind of guys.
When you were 3, did you think that you were going to grow up and enter the comic book industry?
Not when I was 3, but I knew when I was 3 I liked drawing. So
oh, okay.
It wasn't until I'd say mid-high school when I started really trying to do comics.
When did your professional career begin?
Professionally for comics was near the end of high school.
Wow.
Yeah, I started working with Dreamwave Productions. When I started working, I started doing backgrounds and then started doing layouts as well to kind of assist the main penciler, which was fun for a while, but it's a lot of pressure. I picked up coloring. The studio I was with, Dreamwave, was really known for its colors.
Okay.
So I took the opportunity to learn from, at the time, the best in the industry. At this point, I like doing both. When I was living in Japan, I did a lot of like t-shirt designs. In the beginning, I wasn't I wasn't in the forefront. Like I would do assisting work, stuff like that. So, but they liked the comics. They liked the work we were doing. Eventually, people started seeing my work. With them, I got to do Transformers. I did G.I. Joe. Got to do coloring for Ninja Turtle comic book, and Star Wars too. For me, it's not so much just big names, it's everything I grew up loving. One of my dream come true moments I can remember, I had to draw box art for Transformers toys. As a kid, I would look at the boxes and like, I'd copy the drawing. So for me to do it back, and then maybe some kid would look at my drawing and see my work on a Transformers box.
For Filipino comics now, now that you're now in the industry, what are your favorite local comic books or like local comic book artists?
But from what I've seen, I really like Ian Santamaria's work with Sky World. He's really good. And Trece, the artwork for Trece. Things like Kajo is really good.
Yes.
I can't remember.
And then now I want to ask about Pinoy Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So how did that start?
Pinoy Rangers started when I met this art collective called Ang Guerrilla. They were putting a street art all around Manila. There's a lot of potential in these guys. With a friend of mine, Brandon Lee, developed the world, developed the characters, gave them each individual identities, gave them a good story, and now we're pushing through to trying to make a comic book.
Yeah.
That's the 0 issue. Sold out, by the way.
Oh, it looks very cool.
Yeah, so I mean, we're putting a lot of work. It's very personal, like in the way that it's our experiences as Pinoys, as like foreign Pinoys. It's all there, like everything that's here, we're trying to put in there.
Do you think there are any Filipino traits that you admire in terms of like people that you work with?
Oh, definitely. Well, what I can say as a Filipino in Canada, I really looked up to Filipino artists that I could see were making it around. Right? Like Will Portasio was a big hero of mine, just because like when I found out he was Filipino, I'm like, oh, he can do it. I'll do it too, right?
Yes.
And then later, after doing Transformers, at I think it was San Diego convention, San Diego Comic Con, I ran into Will Portasio there, and he's like, I saw your work in Transformers, and I'm like, that's kind of nice. That was pretty cool. Greenway Productions, we were really trying to put an anime look to American comics. The anime I did really get into was Slam Dunk. The artist for that is my favorite artist. His name is Inoue Takehiko. To me, he's the best, hands down.
Can you mention any challenges being an artist in your industry?
It's tough. It's a tough industry. Like there's a lot of competition, so you have to keep working as hard as you can all the time.
Of all the works that you did, which are you most proud of?
Right now, I'll have to say the Rangers. I worked on G.I. Joe, I worked on Transformers, I worked on Ninja Turtles, and Star Wars. But the satisfaction I got from them is nothing compared to what I'm getting when I saw this.
Yeah.
Like it came from here, right?
Okay, yeah.
We created the characters, we created the story, we did everything ourselves. And it's my characters, along with my friends, of course, but like, it's ours. We want eventually that these guys, that when you see kids outside running around playing, I'm Iron Man, I'm Thor. No, I want them to be, I'm Pangulo, I'm Bungo. Because like these are modern Filipino characters that I think fit today's times. I just want to be able to keep drawing and hopefully keep living.
Now, what do you want to say to the kids who want to grow up to be like you?
I'll basically just do it. That's all it is, really. Like, just do it. Like, if you want to do comics, draw comics. Basically, just draw.
Thank you very much,
You're welcome.
Sensei.
Thank you too.
And that was Sigmund Torre, mga kaibigan. Truly, another world-class Filipino artist that we can be proud of. At sa mga mahilig mag-drawing dyan, remember, like what he said, keep on drawing until you achieve your dreams. O, diba? And this has been Manganized here on My Hero Nation Season 3.